Initially I started out with KulaHub about 6 years ago, and I've stayed with them, and it was foremost because I found it a very easy to use, non-complicated system that was highly effective for my needs at that time. Hugely cost effective as well. I couldn't afford six-figure systems that a lot of CRMs tend to come out at, especially in the legal sector. And I wanted some kind of system that had whistles and bells, but that I was in control with, so I didn't want it to be overcomplicated, and I was in control of that. I love the fact that with KulaHub you're able to manipulate the system, so it gives me exactly what I'm looking for, is in my customer touch points. I'm in control of that. It's basically that you've got a depth and breadth of the system, but I'm able to put in new reports and new forms and new events, and I'm in total control. It's a bit like building your own website in a way, and you can do it through WordPress. It's a similar kind of concept, but in a different technological form. I've stayed with KulaHub mainly as well, even though my business has grown, because I like the personalised aspect of it, because in the sector that I work in with all my relationships, I know that legal people do want a personalised service, clients want control, and with the marketing system, the newsletter and how I go about doing that, and the interest groups when I break it down to leisure contacts, business contacts and what have you, I can actually just dovetail the newsletter to suit a particular market sector. And I find that particularly useful because I specifically want to get down to grassroots, where I only want to send a personal message to a group of people, and I certainly don't want to bombard them with information that's totally irrelevant. And the fact that I can actually make new templates in the system is just second to none. What I particularly enjoy is the support from headquarters, because there's a good group of people who are always at the end of a phone or an email. Obviously, because I can manipulate the system myself, you do need support, because there are times when I'm actually not quite sure how to manage it. And there's always somebody on hand who actually takes me through that. And if I can't do it, sometimes they do it for me. So I'm particularly enamoured with that kind of service as well. And they do give a personal service, so the system, they practice what they preach as human beings, as well as a technological system that is personalised as well. KulaHub as well, it's been ideal for when my business has scaled, as I think I've said that previously anyway, but that's essential because a lot of people move around and think they need something bigger and better because they've got bigger and what have you, and actually you don't need to. I've got quite a lot of contacts. I've got over 10,000 contacts and growing. Initially I had 0 contacts, but KulaHub have stayed with me, and I've stayed with them going forward, and can probably support me to 50,000, 100,000 contacts, which isn't insurmountable in this social network world. There's no reason why the system can't actually support me as I grow further with the integrity of the data that's in there as well. And on that point, what I really like about KulaHub is the integrity of the data and the mining that I can do, because for me the business intelligence is actually paramount in how I go forward when I'm prospecting. So the reports that I can actually make are really data rich, because it gives me a good feel right up to the present day and going forward as to how many touch points I've had with the customer, hot, warm, cold contacts, so I can really drill down into that data. Going forward, I'll probably stay with KulaHub for as far as I go, because as long as my company, Entrepreneur Lawyer Limited, exists in what I do, I'll stay with it. And as I bring on more services and products as well, that's something I can engineer and put into the system. At present, obviously, I do speaking, I write books, I write content, I do training, I do consulting, I'm involved in other entrepreneurial activities, and actually have data fields within that system that deals with all of that as well, so I can actually segment the kind of services and products I do, so I can keep on building on that even when my business changes and flexes throughout the years to come. Thank you very much for all your support.